So today we're just going to be a bit cozy while we just talk about faith and not sight, okay? So I'm quite interested in today's topic, honestly, because it just let me speak out of the freedom of my heart and just help someone out there, to encourage somebody. I started YouTube again just because I want to speak. I want my voice to be heard. I want to share life experiences so someone else doesn't have to go through that. I also want to share life experiences so people can relate and know that they're not alone. I also want to share life experiences, so we can all encourage ourselves together, and somebody could just use my own story and feel good about themselves, or know that it's going to all work out eventually. And yeah, so I've been doing that now, and I'm so proud of myself. And so guys, if it's your first time seeing me here, that's exactly what I do on here on YouTube. I'm just going to be talking, sharing experiences, and I really hope you come along with me. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notification so you know when I have posted. And yeah, so keep watching. Okay, so I would like to just talk about how having faith and not working by your own physical sight could really change the trajectory of your life. It's happened to me severally, over and over and over and over. Times where I did not see something, it did not look like it. The whole situation even looked opposite of what it was supposed to be. I just have this faith in me. I just know that it's all going to work out. I wouldn't even bother. And trust me, I wasn't that person before. I wasn't in that kind of level before. Before, I would worry. I'll be so anxious about things. But when I started building my faith in God, oh my God, my life really, really changed. It's not been easy. It's never easy, because even God will tell you that the trials would come, but he's just assuring you that, nothing will come near you. So I'd like to talk about one story that recently happened to me almost 2 years ago. It was during my wedding, and that story is just something that it gives me goosebumps each time I think about it. It may not sound like anything to somebody out there, but it was a big testament that God really loved me, and truly about walking by faith and not by sight. In fact, if I'm going to be honest, that thing that happened, the whole situation that happened, made me understand that's when my faith was locked in. I was nah, this is what God is trying to teach me at this time. He's trying to make me know that it's never about me. I need to believe in him, I need to trust in him, that everything would work out. So okay, I know you guys have been waiting for the story, so let's get into the story. So my wedding day, okay, so my wedding day comes, or my wedding day came, and we've been making plans for what we wanted for the wedding. And I had the white wedding in the UK, okay, in Manchester, and everybody knows anything about Manchester. Even in summer it rains, okay. And I don't know what gave me that mind, because I truly wanted that. That's my dream wedding, okay. And I decided to have an indoor and also an outdoor. So what I did was, the indoor was going to be the reception, and then the outdoor was the officiation and all of that, with the priest getting us married together. And when we were doing that, even our wedding planners then would tell us why are you doing this? They would always say, oh, have a plan B. What are you going to do? What if it rains? Manchester always would rain and everything. But I was just so convinced. I was I want that outdoor wedding. Come on, the hall that I already booked, how beautiful the outdoor scenery was. Why wouldn't I use this? Why would I have to be locked in a hall? And then time keeps coming by, and it was 2 weeks to the wedding, and I started looking at the weather forecast, okay? The weather forecast said it was going to rain 80% that day. Oh my God, I was already destabilized. I was what am I going to do? And at that point, something just said to me, like, just keep up with your plans. Like, don't change your plans. Because I was going to change the plans. Like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I change my plan? Should I not change my plan? You know, like everything was going on in my head. I was like, so am I going to be getting married under the rain? So I told my husband, and he's like, okay, let's just wait it out. And himself, he was like, you know what? We're going to start planning for plan B just in case, okay? But of course, I was like, nah, you have to hold on. Just hold on. Let's check after 1 week. We checked 1 week. It was still showing that it was going to rain 80% that day. I was like, what am I even going to do? And again, like something in me just kept on saying, you don't, just forget about what you're seeing. Just have faith that I can't do it. Do you think I cannot hold the rain for you? Like, this is what kept on coming to my mind. I was like, okay, guys, 2 days to the wedding. 2 days to the wedding. It was still showing 80% to rain. And at that point, my husband is like, no. We're not going to do that. Like, it's just crazy, you know. Like, why would you want to keep that and, you know, all of that? So I say, okay, you know what? Do your own thing. Just tell them that since we decided that we're going to start the wedding at 1 p.m. and he said it was going to rain from 7 a.m. that morning. So if it's going to rain from 7 a.m. that morning and say it's 8 a.m., then they can start arranging the hall for everything. But if it doesn't rain by 8 a.m. that day, then whatever the case is, I don't even care if the rain eventually comes, then let's do the outdoor. So that was like what we had. I'm like, okay, no problem. The wedding day comes. I wake up by 6 that day. Everywhere was so cloudy, like so cloudy. I was like, what kind of dark wedding is this? Like, why is everywhere like this? Anyway, I woke up that day, you know, 7 a.m. came. Everywhere was still like, you know, when it's so cloudy that, you know, like it's about to rain, but like it's not raining yet, but you know it would rain. 7 a.m. came, 8 a.m. came. It hadn't started raining, but everywhere was dark. But because we had that deal that regardless, as long as there's no rain, we will set up outside. So I just went ahead to tell the vendors to start setting up outside, like regardless, even though it looked like it was definitely going to rain. Like there was no two excuses. Guys, if you see that day, I wish I have like a video I could insert. If I do find one, I'm going to insert it there. And then they started to arrange. Everywhere was just a gloomy day, okay? Guys, I just spoke to myself. I was like, Holy Spirit, you told me that, you know, I should walk by faith and not by sight. I'm happy that it's not raining. However, the weather is so gloomy that it's even better I do it inside, because how am I going to get beautiful pictures on an outdoor event where the weather is gloomy? Excuse me. And then, guys, I was doing my makeup at 11. I remember that day so much. And I just said this thing that I just said now in my heart while doing my makeup. I didn't say it out loud. I just said it in my heart. Like, I was even about to cry because, you know, I was doing my makeup and I was just looking out there. I was like, what's going on now? Guys, I said this thing. And, God, if you see the sun that came out, like, I'm telling you, like, immediately I said that prayer, like, this ray of sun just shined, I don't even know if that's the correct English, on my face, like while doing the makeup, because I was like in a room, and you know how the reflection of like the sun rays comes into like a room. It just hit me on my face. I was like, what? I looked outside, everywhere started becoming really bright. Guys, that day was so hot. It was not like really hot that bad, but it was really hot that everyone's like, the way this weather was that day, it was like everyone was so sure it was going to rain. And when my guests started coming in, I asked them, like, is it raining like when you were coming from? They were like, yeah, that where they were coming from within Manchester is raining cats and dog, like it's raining badly. But here, the area that I had my wedding, in fact, like even one of my friends had told me that the mark that divided like where the area of my wedding was and like another place, it actually was raining there. But the minute you enter the area where that wedding was to be held, there was no rain. That day, like, it's not, I almost cried. I didn't cry because of course my makeup, but like that day I just felt this thing in me. I was so grateful to God. Like, I was like, this is just the sun. Like, this is just God doing rain and sun, How much more other things that I want? And that day, like, I just made a commitment to myself that there will be nothing that would ever shake me anymore. Of course, I'm human, so sometimes I would get here and there, like, fear of things. But like, every time I remember this story of what happened with me, I just tell myself there's nothing God cannot do for me. Okay, like, that day was just so phenomenal. My wedding was so beautiful. Like, the sun, the pictures, everything just went well. And yeah, so guys, this is just one of the stories of what God has done for me. But like, I feel like this one really stands out to me so much. And of course, you know why. And that's because it was my wedding day. But like, just knowing that just because I had my wedding in that area, like, God stopped rain for me. Like, for me. For small me. Nah, that was crazy, guys. Like, that was so crazy. So I say this to say that no matter what it is you're just looking up to God for, or things that you're trying to achieve is not looking like what it's supposed to look like, don't bother about what it looks like physically. Just know that God got you, okay? That's why they say faith is the assurance of things you hope for, okay? You're assured and you hope for, and then you're convinced even when you haven't seen it. So the conviction of things we haven't seen. So is the I lost my thought. Okay, so faith is the assurance of things hoped for, and then the conviction of things not seen. So even when you haven't seen it, you're convinced that you already have it. And that's exactly what faith is. And faith is not, oh, I'm going to have faith tomorrow. Faith is now. You're going to have faith now. Like, as you're speaking, as you're listening to this video, as you're doing anything, you start to exercise your faith now. Okay? And I hope this really helped somebody. Like, I just felt so led to share this. And just thinking about it now, I just feel good. I wish I could give God a hug. And guys, I'll see you in my next one. Take care, okay? Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.